I entered the capital center, performed on stage with the GoGo inventor, Mr. Epicenter or DMV, performed songs at the Capitol lawn and invited.
This one's for Chuck Brown album. So I was curious, on the song Chuck Brown, you also mention and kind of do the chorus for Wind Me Up Chuck. Since he has so many big songs from Bustin' Loose, Run Joe, all these songs, what made Wind Me Up Chuck be the one you wanted to reference the most on the Chuck Brown song?
Well, because I felt like that would be the ultimate salute to him. Meaning, when he walked in the building, I remember at the Capitol Center, he was in there, and before he got on stage, they was going, "Wind me up, Chuck." And he walked up and be, "Wind me up." He was like, "Do what?" And I say, "Wind me up." He said, "No, y'all don't want me to do that. Wind me up. Come on, man, don't make me do it. Wind me up, Chuck, please, come on, wind." All right, you know what I'm gonna do now. You know what I'm saying? Like the build up of the way that was, like the audience, like you gotta see, you get it. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's like you walking into a building, it's 20,000 people saying, "Wind me up, Chuck." And as he's coming into it, they kept saying it until he winds them up. So I figured that in my mind, if I'm gonna make this as real as possible, and it's about him, I want the people around the world to know this was like his theme music. Wind me up, Chuck. You can go into a club and the music will stop and you hear him in there. "Wind me up, Chuck." Like, it's crazy. So when I did this, and it's interesting you bring this point up. When I first did it, I only had it at the end of the song. So a friend of mine who's a doctor, I let him hear it. And when I let him hear it, he said, "Man, that wind me up thing, man." He said, "You got it too far in the song, man." He said, "That thing needs to be at the top." And in my mind, normally I'm pretty accurate and precise. I felt there was something I needed to do at the top, but I didn't know. And when he said it, I said, "You're right, you're right." I said, because he said, man, "I may not even get to that part in the song." He said, "Sometimes people don't listen to the whole song." He said, "So you gotta let them know off the top." And I said, "You know what? He's making a real good point." And then he said, "Oh, and by the way, turn up those congas too, turn up those percussions too." I turned around, I said, yeah, he's right. And then, you know, Janelle and her family and a lot of people that was just real D.C. pure go-go, you know, people, you know, I was feeling like maybe am I going too far with the percussions? But then I said, you know what? I'm gonna go all the way with this. I said, I'm gonna sit these right up in your face so that you can get it in the most purest form. So there was a process. So with the Wind Me Up, it was important to establish who I'm talking about, what we know him for. So when I start to explain the story, you're all, you know, hopefully you can visually picture this. And when you see the video, it's gonna really make sense. The video is explosive.
That would be a beautiful thing. All right. Yeah. Now on Play This Only at Night, also for this one's for Chuck, you bring up the spirit of Little Benny. Of course, Little Benny and the Masters, Who Comes the Boogie, they got so many. Let Me Show You the Message, Cat in the Hat, et cetera, et cetera. So with Little Benny, even though he's not Chuck Brown, obviously, what made you want to shout him out on Play This Only at Night?
You know, it's funny because I didn't plan it that way, but I felt his energy, and I know me and Little Benny always used to rock, or just we would be in passing. I didn't rock with him the way I rocked with Chuck, but the last time I was with him, we were on a cruise together, and he just had, I believe, a stroke or something. and he was on some kind of like a wheelchair crutch thing, I don't know. And he was still going to the stage. And then he rocked. And then when he got off the ship and he got back home, then that's when I heard that, you know, he passed. And I remember us talking on the cruise, and he was like, man, Dougie, man, you don't know how much, man, I love your stuff. Man, you are the only guy that I know in hip hop that really understand what it is that we are doing. It like, you get it. And then that day, I believe I went to one of the shows on the ship, and we got down. You know what I mean? And so I felt his energy, and for some reason, we played this only at night. His energy popped into me, you know, and it made me just say it. A lot of things that I do with GoGo are never planned. They're natural. I'm free with the style, you know. I'm not sitting there and say, after 8 bars, I'm gonna do this. After 16 bars, I'm gonna do this. Not when you live, not when you're going in. It's an energy exchange. And when you're in tune with it, you know what to do. You don't even gotta think about it, you just know.
Right. And also on Play This Only at Night, the GoGo version, you also shout out GoGo Mickey, the phenomenal conga player from Rare Essence, of course. And was that also just a spontaneous thing that you did?
Very spontaneous. I mean, because I'm looking in the back and see, because Darnell, I told him I wanted him to do this. Because me and Darnell is my man, you know what I mean? He's like serious about this. So we always have these deep debates and insights about certain things. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I said, you know I want Mickey, right? You know I want Mickey. He's like, that's of course, that's what, like, me and Mickey have this very deep connection as well. Like when I did I'm Getting Ready remix, I called in Mickey for that. And me and Mickey just, I don't know what it is. Like, you know, he seems to play in a way that it is so pure. And he is so precise that I know everybody says this guy is good and that guy is good. Listen, but your blueprint is GoGo Mickey, man. You know it is. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted that feeling. And when I turned around and I'm looking at it, I said, you know who that is, y'all? And it just started to, I made it up.
Okay. Well, speaking of I'm Getting Ready, that I think is probably my favorite song of yours. That and the show probably are tied almost. I think I'm Getting Ready is just phenomenal. So that being said, even though that's really a go-go song, what made you want to revisit it in the modern times, since it's already a go-go song?
Well, I felt I wanted people to feel, I felt that if a person picked this project up and they look at it, I wanted them to hear I'm Getting Ready again being performed live. You know what I'm saying? And being performed right then and there. When I made up I'm Getting Ready, that was my idea of the way I felt this go-go experience should happen. And when I made it up, Darnell told me, he was like, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable what you did. He said, when you made it up, we wouldn't have made it up like that because you brought a different piece of an experience to it that we probably wouldn't have thought about. But I looked at it and I knew what I loved about go-go, and I just added everything else that I thought would be missing. You know, like I put a tuba in there, you know, you know, I put low tone 808s in there, but they wasn't trying to do that. I mean, and I have to acknowledge Bernard Wright, who was there to help me do that, because he was just in there, and he was another guy like GoGo Mickey, like I say with different people, they just lock into your energy. And all you have to do is do what you're doing, and they will support it. You know what I mean? So I felt that people needed to hear I'm Getting Ready live, and I wanted them to hear it with this group, Team Familiar. So, you know what I mean? I thought it was nice to give people that experience.
Absolutely. And then speaking of the show, since you also have that on This One's for Chuck Brown, one of my favorite things was hearing the horns on the Inspector Gadget part. So
Yeah.
that sonically was, I was interested to see how you guys were going to do it or what instruments you were going to use. So how did the horns end up being the what way that you guys did it?
On this album, right?
Yeah, on the This One's for Chuck Brown album.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, because we the band kind of like, you know, I told them I want to feel what I felt from the show, but I wanted to make sure that I still have the, you know, the horns on top of it to give it that excitement, you know? And so when we was in there and we was playing around for a little while, I just wanted to see what they had. And they kind of knew what to do. See, a lot of this, and to be honest with you, I went to a rehearsal with them and it was a very short, like, hey, how you doing? Okay, you know, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And they knew my music. So it really wasn't even like a real rehearsal. And then when we went and did it live, there was no real arrangement. It was just me saying, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like I was just damn near like calling it out. I did DEF. I wanted to put that on there, but it wasn't, you know, I was looking at the time factor. And then roll with it. I did that joint, you know, Sexy Lady. I did that one and I wanted to put that on there. But time-wise, it was too tight. Now I may come back and let people hear them again. But for this particular project, it was a certain period of time. So with the show, I wanted to have the keyboard sound, but I mean, these dudes sat home and studied it, yo. Because when I came in, they was just ready. They was ready, yo. I didn't even have to tell them too much. I was like, let me hear it. I said, damn, all right, cool, we good. The rehearsal was so short that I can't even really call it a rehearsal.
Wow. Okay. Well, also rest in peace, of course, to Biz Markie. You got him on there as well, the show on This One's for Chuck Brown. So I know he lived in Maryland for a long time. So what was the special element of bringing him on that song?
Well, you know what's crazy is that I didn't expect to bring him on. He just ran on the stage.
Oh, wow.
He seen me on, he came on, grabbed the microphone, started doing the beatbox when after the horns with the show came in. And then in the background, because his mic cut off a little bit, he's in the background going, excuse me, Dougie Fresh. And that's why I go, yes, like that. And he's saying it to me. And then after, he was up there and he started scratching. That's him scratching. And then when we transitioned out of that, that's him scratching also. And then I never thought that I would be saying, you know, that Biz Markie is not here to celebrate with me with this. And then on the album, I said, yo, get ready for Biz Markie. So it bugs me out because I mentioned Chuck, I mentioned Little Benny, and then Biz, when we did it, he was healthy and he was vibrant, alive. And then when he went into the hospital, this album didn't come out till after he passed. You see what I mean? So I listened to what I said. Hey, get ready for my brother Biz Markie, you know what I mean? And all three of them have transitioned. So it's a crazy situation, man. It really is. It's just, but that night we had a good time. We had fun. And that's his final performance. That's his last performance, especially with me and him. That's his last live performance.
Wow. That's crazy. Huh.
And then I did an interview with him, and we were talking about we gotta do a song. We gotta do another song together. Because we did the one with DJ Cool for Let Me Clear My Throat. But we were saying now me and him should do a song. And so when I look at this was our final time, you know? So it's interesting how life is.
Very. Well, I'm glad that not only did you get to do it, but everybody will get to enjoy it if they haven't already.
Be sure to check out The History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
There's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.